This is Caffeine Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny. All right. Tell me something good. What'd you do this weekend?
This weekend, I didn't really do that much. We went for a walk at the park, and I don't know, that was about it. Oh, when it started raining, we went shopping.
Oh, yeah. What'd you get? What'd you shop for? Anything
Well,
special?
I went to Best Buy because I've been thinking about getting a handheld gaming system,
Okay.
and then Ulta's right there, so
You gotta go to
you gotta get Ulta.
Ulta.
And then my husband's thinking about getting a new car, so we stopped by a couple car dealerships because it was Sunday and it was closed.
Oh, so
That's
they
the
didn't
best time to
bother
go
you.
because then you don't have salesmen coming up to you.
I feel like they're like kind of getting a little desperate right now too, and they're running some like 0% interest on
hmm
certain models and stuff. What's he looking at? I'm nosy.
He waffles back and forth between getting like a new truck and getting a car. The car is like for the commuter, but he's like, but I need a new truck that can pull my trailer and whatever. I don't know. I'm like, he can't decide, but
So my birthday is this week, and G came home with two kayaks this weekend, and I've literally been asking for kayaks, probably like 6 months into our relationship,
yeah,
which has been like 3 or 4 years now. So I was really excited. So I think we're gonna take the kayaks out
yeah,
this weekend and s-
yeah.
tool around, and take Jensen with us, which will be fun.
It's
But yeah, I'm
exciting.
excited.
Are you gonna get
So.
Jensen his own, or is he gonna sit in one of yours?
Well, a few months ago, my mom has two, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna take my mom's and like use hers. Well, she doesn't, she like doesn't use them. And so I took him to the store, and I was like looking at the kid kayak, and I was like, would you get on one of these? So right now he's 5, and he's pretty adventurous, but he's still like kind of skeptical of some stuff. And he looked at me, and he was like, no, mom, mm-mm. And I was like, well, would you get inside the boat with me if I went? And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I would." And I was like, "Okay." Well, then we went to the lake to see my in-laws last weekend, and they had a youth kayak that they had gotten for Jensen's cousin, and so it'll hold me, like it'll hold enough to hold me up.
hmm
So I got on it, and then Jensen said he wanted to get on it, so he got on it with me, and we just like went around the little cove and everything, and it was fun. And I think like seeing me do that, Gatlin was like, "Okay, I'm gonna definitely
Yeah,
get the kayaks thing so we can go."
that's
So
great.
yeah, it was exciting. I was excited. I've been wanting them for a really long time.
Are they get sit inside or sit on top?
They're sitting inside. So the one that we got on last weekend was sit on top, and it wasn't bad. I hadn't really messed around with one that was sit on top very much before then, but I prefer the ones that are like sit down in them. And everybody's like, "Why? Like you snakes get in there and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Well, they're going to be hanging in my garage, so I'm not really worried about that." And I feel like you got room for like the cooler and snacks and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. So, but we usually every summer we go with the neighbors, and we just go somewhere where you can rent the kayak and go down the river. And so this time, like looking forward to taking our own kayaks.
Yeah.
So
I've never been on moving water before.
oh my gosh, it is literally so fun. It's really fun. You need to come with us. We're going in July, so you need to come with us. It's going to be fun.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. You and Cody should definitely come.
Yeah. Right now I'm more of a stand-up paddleboard kind of
Yeah.
person. I don't know.
That
I
sounds
just
really fun. That
hmm
sounds so like calming. But that's not something that I would want to do on
Okay,
moving
but I
water.
went on Memorial Day and it was windy. So like I kind of have this like route that I take, I'm a person of habit, so I have this like little route that I take, and then when I was on my way back to, get in my car, the wind was like blowing against me, and so I could only like paddle with one side because otherwise it was like turning me. And then the next day I woke up and I had like the worst pain in my upper back just because I had like overused that side, I think.
Oh,
And it still hurts, and it's been over a week now, but it's getting better, but
yeah.
crazy.
Oh, I hate that like back and neck pain.
I
That's just
know.
like the worst.
It is.
All right. So, what is our hot topic for today?
You're gonna tell us what should and shouldn't be done DIY.
Yeah. So, this whole idea is sparked because one of my favorite Instagrammers is like the new like spokesperson. He's really funny, Dane the Great. He's like just a silly comedian and does like Southern Dad and
Oh yeah.
I know you've seen it.
Yeah. We've
And
seen
he
each
just
other.
like does silly stuff on Instagram. Well, he popped up as the spokesperson for this do-it-yourself brand of HVAC equipment, and I've kind of been seeing it everywhere. So on a couple of the groups on Facebook, they were talking about it because I think there's certain Lowe's stores that are now selling it, and all I can think is, what a disaster! Like, what a disaster! And I've seen them at trade shows, and at first I kind of scratched my head. I'm like, how are they doing that? So I looked into it a little bit. And some of these systems that you can buy as a homeowner what's considered a sealed system. So think like sealed, like your refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
It has refrigerant in it, but you can't really access it. But it's so funny to see if you've ever seen one outside of like a restaurant or someone's house. They have this big wound up thing because you can't cut it. You can't shorten it for your space.
Oh yeah.
So I got to thinking, like, why? What are the dangers, and like why shouldn't you do this and just spring for real actual equipment from professionals the first go round?
Yes.
So this is the list of reasons, and it is extensive. So the first one is, as you and I both know, we took the EPA 608 exam, so we learned about refrigerant last summer, and we learned all the dangers. So refrigerant can burn you. I mean, if anything goes wrong and that refrigerant leaks out, not only is it bad for the environment and dangerous for the environment, it can be very dangerous to you. And depending on the type of refrigerant, I mean, you're talking about burning your skin extensively, like go to the hospital burns in some cases, some extreme cases, and oxygen displacement. We learned about that, which wasn't even really hyper aware of until we read about it. And it's like, wow, that's extreme. I mean, think about that. You're standing there, and then all of a sudden there's no more oxygen left for you to breathe, and you don't even realize it because you don't know. Yeah. So those were like the first ones about refrigerant. A lot of this stuff can create electrical shock. So again,
so electricity scares me so much.
Me too. And it's like, it just doesn't take that much for it to be. It's almost like a silent killer, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know it's there all the time. And then all of a sudden, what just happened? I mean, I've seen my brothers like mess around with electricity, and, we were kids at one point grabbing the electric fence and all that stuff. And it's like, it's fun when you don't really realize how bad it can be, but it can be really dangerous. Gas leaks too, carbon monoxide poisoning. Again, another like,
oh yeah, that's so scary.
Silent killer. I know, that one scares me. And this is the first house I've ever lived in with gas, so it's like I'm kind of paranoid. Like, I'm always checking to make sure that the carbon monoxide detectors are working and stuff, just because it's like you just don't think about it until you have to think about it, and then it's like, wow, this could be, and it happens quick. They say that it doesn't take that long and that much of it.
Yeah, there was one night where this is our second house being gas, but I swore that I smelled gas, and my husband was like, I don't smell it. You're crazy. He went and checked everything. He's like, everything looks fine. And I went to Home Depot. It was like 9:00 at night, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to Home Depot. I'm getting a detector. And I got one of the little detector things and installed it or whatever, and of course it's 0. And I was like, okay, well, just
it's peace of mind.
Sorry,
it's peace of mind though, for sure. We actually, when we went to like last weekend, they had the gas detectors or whatever, and apparently the ones that they had like only lasted 5 years. And she said the battery died in the middle of the night and it was beeping so loud. And she was like, I'm surprised y'all didn't you guys didn't hear it. She said, set it outside and I could still hear it. So I just threw it like as far as I could. And I was like, oh my gosh. All right. So when it comes to installing it, you can have quite a few issues. So installing too small is bad. Installing too large is bad. So we've already learned that improper sizing can cause the unit to power cycle, which actually shortens the life of it. So while you might be saving money like on the front end, probably not really saving that much money by the time you're replacing it because because the sizing is wrong. Also, another one that scares me is it can cause humidity and moisture problems, which will grow mold.
Oh, yeah, that is.
And that one, like, as far as saving money on the unit, like, you're not saving any money at that point. You're spending lots of money because just mold issues are so hard to mitigate and get under control once they're already there. And I mean, just like the potential health risk that it caused too, that's big money.
I know. Talk about another silent killer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Poor circulation and then excess energy consumption are two other issues that you can run into if you don't know how to size the equipment properly as a homeowner. Okay, this one might be your favorite one. Warranty issues. So,
Yeah.
a lot of these that are like DIY, buy from Lowe's, rumor has it that they do not warranty them very well. They don't.
It's probably like a 1-year warranty or something like that.
I don't know exactly what the warranty is from brand to brand or whatever, but I have heard that not only do they, I mean, think about once you install something yourself, you're not calling somebody else to come and mess with it because a lot of these guys are like, this is cheap, installed incorrectly. Like, if you want me to rip it out and put something new in, I can help you. But they don't want to touch it, which I can't say, I don't really blame them because kind of just turns into more of a headache. And then the homeowner can potentially say, like, well, you were the last one to touch it, or, you did this or you did that.
Too much liability for them.
Yeah, it's too much liability. And a lot of times those companies know that the homeowners really don't understand what they're doing and probably messed it up on their own. So the warranty kind of gets a little shady. They keep that warranty in the gray area. So, yeah. I mean, typically installing on your own is just going to lead to more issues down the road, whether it be mold and mildew and moisture, humidity problems, things breaking down and nobody really being able to work on it, potential just health risk of installing the unit in the first place. And I mean, these units, a lot of times, homeowners are not going to have the proper equipment to work on it. So like gauges and all that stuff to be able to diagnose anything that could go wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then couple that with nobody else wanting to come out and help you and look at it. It's just not a good idea. Like the money that you're saving is not worth the risk on the other side of it.
Yeah, I was going to say in the grand scheme of things, I can't imagine it would be like the cost benefit, ratio. I just don't think that.
And I mean, as HVAC professionals, like we're up to date on the current regulations and the potential codes that have to come along with that. I learned something new over the weekend about the town that my mom lives in. They actually have to pull a permit to change their windows. Apparently something happened along the line. Something happened to have that code be put in place. Some kind of lawsuit or something with the city. But I'm wondering how long it's going to take with all this DIY stuff coming out and those kinds of things. Like, how long is it going to take for HVAC to be really involved more with city codes and building codes and that kind of stuff? So, in my mind, it's much safer to just go with a professional that knows what they're doing and can get it right. Because, like, we both know the installation of this equipment is, like, the name of the game. Getting it sized right, getting it installed correctly. And that's where you're going to see the longevity of your unit be successful. So,
yeah, I don't think it's worth it. And I don't know. There's some things that I'm confident in DIYing, but then when it comes to so many, because you have like the whole refrigerant aspect, the electricity aspect, all of that, I don't know. I just would rather have someone else do it, someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's just such a large expense in the first place. Like, I want to be confident that it's going to work for years to come.
Yeah, because you're going to be way mad if you install it wrong and then you wind up having to have a professional come put in a
you're going to spend twice
anyway.
as much, And the headache is not worth the savings, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Right. So that is why everyone should stay away from do-it-yourself HVAC. Leave this to the professionals.
Okay, for our ender, we're gonna do 2 truths and a lie because we did
Oh,
this a long
okay.
time ago. But you know, you were the
I was the asker
yeah,
that
you were
time,
the
wasn't
asker.
I?
So here we go. I have a twin. I've been lifting for over 10 years, like lifting weights, and I was born and raised in Georgia.
If you literally have a twin and you never told me that, I'm going to be like mortified. I feel like we're on that level. So the lie has to be that you have a twin.
Yeah. I thought that was like kind of risky to put on there because like I definitely would have said something about my twin by now, but okay, the next set.
Also, I don't think the world can handle 2 of you.
No. No way. She would have to be the complete opposite of me. All right, I'm an artist. I like painting and drawing. I met Post Malone, and I didn't get my first tattoo until I was 31.
Oh, this one's hard. You met Post Malone is the lie.
Yes.
Okay. I could have. The tattoo one threw me because I don't know. Okay, what age were you when you got your first tattoo?
I was 31.
Oh, you were? Okay, so, wow. That's a lot of artwork in a short period of time.
It is. Once you pop, you can't stop, is what I say. It would be really cool to meet Post Malone. I've been to his concert a couple times.
Okay, so he just had the country album drop. I appreciate that.
I haven't listened to it
You haven't listened
yet.
to any of it?
No,
I've
heard one song, but
I've listened to one.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that out on my way home. All right, my last set is I eat exactly 0 vegetables. I exclusively read on my Kindle, and my father was an HVAC technician.
Okay, your dad was not an HVAC technician. I know that's the lie. I know that you don't eat vegetables because I sent you a picture of my salad one day and you were like, ew. And it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, I thought I might have already told you that my dad was an electrician, but I was
oh, I didn't know he's an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me that.
Okay.
I would not have guessed that.
Well, I probably definitely would have mentioned that he was a technician before, but you know.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, y'all stay away from those DIY HVAC units.
Yeah. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.